How do the Tau approach a new world to get them to join their growing empire? And what propaganda can they transmit to imperial worlds to turn them from the Emperor's light? Friends, let's find out, and welcome to another 40k video. When they approach some fringe world, such as one in the Damocles Gulf, they skillfully manipulate the populace. First the watercast roll out the welcome carpet in what they dub a silken conquest. Then with merchants and traders, Tau agents arrive who can speak Low Gothic very well and sell technology to those who live on these fringe worlds. And at such a low price, the populace consider the sellers very naive. And then Tau ships will descend and be welcomed. Easy deals and more technology, more sweetener will be given. When asked about their homeworlds, the Tau merchants paint such a compelling picture of their sunlit utopia that the long neglected fringers begin to think perhaps they would like a piece of that lifestyle too. Then more technology comes, and merchants that would negotiate better deals, ones that some would say would be too good to believe. And with this, minor Tau settlements are established across the sector, all in the name, of course, of trade. Then came Tau medicine. They were introduced by the suave ambassador caste, which means it was done with such smooth grace that no one really objected to them toiling away in the background, especially, as I mentioned, when the Earth caste brought med packs. And these weren't just any med packs, they proved so effective, and the fact that these things are happening on Imperial world anyway means there's going to be a likelihood that those receiving the packs will slide over their allegiance to the Tau. But within a month, rustjaw, leprosy, screen blind and pneumonia became distant memories. After the first batch of successful treatments upon Verspertine, a third caste arrived, the pilots of the Tau Navy. They had to breach orbit in order to ferry the apothecarian packs around, and so those who speak out against the presence of the Tau will be slowly turned in their support, and even those in charge would welcome these Xenos, the planetary governors worn down by the endless words of Tidebringer and his kin. And then, what the Imperium feels will get their attention on this. The tithes to the wider Imperium dried out to a trickle, and then stopped altogether, as all wealth was invested in the future of the fringe world instead. Now, in the first Farsight novel, we get an insight into another type of propaganda, which is a transmission to an Imperial-held planet about what their lives are like and what it could be like if they sided with the Tau. So let's take a look at it now. The Imperium of Man, an institution so old and cruel it grinds its people under its crushing weight. A panoramic shot, imperial industrial world, horizon cluttered with jagged and broken architecture, chimneys belching pollutant into mustard yellow clouds, zoom on sulphurous acid rain falling on citizens that queue for food slops in the alleys beneath. The worlds of the Imperium have been abused and abandoned by their rulers. They exist only to give tithe to their overlords, tithes of flesh and of steel. Interior shot, munitions manufactorum, scalding steam jets, bubbling crucibles of molten metal heated by outsized bursts of flame. There are no labour-saving machines. Interior, munitions loading bay, thousands of hive workers pull vast cables to swing an immense warhead into a transport cylinder. Cut to close-up of filthy hands, they are cut and worn by rough metal cables. Blood runs down pallid wrists. There is no freedom, of course, or expression. Every act is geared to the furtherance of more violence and strife. In this endless wheel of pain and death, there is no hope of escape. A worker will live, sire offspring, and die in the same industrial habitation complex. And to be a cog in this relentless grinding machine is to know nothing but futility and despair. But it does not have to be this way. There is another life to be lived, a life of freedom and opportunity. Camera shot. Darkness brightens to show the white symbol of the Tau, clean and bright, against a purple sky. The Tau Empire, let us look to the stars in hope. The Tau Empire is a beacon of progress and idealism in the wilderness of the eastern fringe. Shot of aircraft soar in shallow arcs, ferrying citizens to and from spaceports high above. The spaceships leave clean white trails across the limitless sky. I really like that shot in contrast to the fumes coming out of the Imperial buildings earlier on, that smoke. Here is contentment and harmony, every aspect of life seamlessly meshing with the others to ensure the minimum of friction. A shot of neatly arranged hexadromes linked with transit spars, some are dotted with silently gliding transmotives. The regularity and elegance of the metropolis form is broken only by mushroom-domed towers and contoured architectural masterpieces. The Tau are a welcoming people. Their advanced culture incorporates dozens of alien races, all willing comrades in the pursuit of the greater good, the philosophy of unity and selflessness known as the Tau-Va. Hexadrome exterior shot, Tau Boulevard lit by the violence of early morning, happy, healthy individuals are already going about their daily business, smiling at one another as they pass. Dotted amongst the Tau are avian croup mercenaries and occasional invertebrates. There is no violence within these cities. For one member of Tau society to attack another is all but unheard of. Criminals and those who waste the lives of their fellows are simply exiled. The threat of banishment from the metropolis is punishment enough to ensure all participants strive for harmony. There are humans amongst the crowd, too. Their apparel is similar to that of Tau around them, though some still wear standard Imperial fatigues. Close up on a nuclear family group, the adult male has a faded Imperial eagle tattooed on his forehead. He has a female child upon his back, her small arms around his neck. They are laughing in joy. Each caste gives purpose and has their own focus to give meaning to the whole and the individuals in that caste. And prominent amongst these are the defenders of the Tau, the Fire Caste. The Fire Caste are the honourable defenders of our way of life. When an outside factor threatens the greater good and freedom it represents, these warriors are there to defeat it swiftly and efficiently. A battlesuit team drops from above, Commander Farsight's famous red battlesuit at the fore. The beams from blasters slice into the Arakan with merciless efficiency. An expert swipe from Commander Farsight's blaster beam takes the creature's many head from its neck in a spray of milky fluids. Under the leaders of the Tau-Va, the caste work tirelessly alongside allies to ensure the greater good ensures the best sort of life for all. Our technology and habitation is free and readily available to all, not just for the Tau, but for everyone who puts aside their troubles to join our vision of a healthy and happy society. Camera shot, dwelling zone interior, a town of humans silhouetted upon a balcony, watching the Deletian sunset. A tray of sumptuous food and drink hovers of its own accord close at hand. You can be a part of it. You will be a part of it. Our destiny is to unite the stars. The fools will fall by the wayside, cold and hungry. Shot of the nuclear family, embracing in spacious, clean living quarters, with a broad, panoramic view of the Deletian sunset behind them. Join us, friend-to-be, for freedom, for harmony, and for the greater good. Now, of course, obviously some of this is manufactured, but I do feel like a lot of the Imperium's side of things that the Tau is showing is probably true, actually. If you read what the lives are like, even on Terra, it is pretty bad. So, on that note, friends, we end today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a fun one to put together. And what do you think to the message of the Tau? Would it convince you to join them? I think it would to me if I was on the Imperial side and some scribe in a planetary archive somewhere. Comment down below with your thoughts.